Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to share with you my conflicted emotions regarding the Stormlight archive. Let's start. So a few months ago, I started reading the Stormlight archive. I thought it's the best time since the fifth book was coming and it was advertised as the end of the first arc. So I felt like, okay, at least there will be some conclusion to it. Of course, I didn't expect it to have a complete conclusion, but some conclusion. So I thought it's a good time to start reading it. And I really was kind of in the mood for this epic adventure. I wanted to see what all this cosmere talk is about. I was very curious. I knew Sanderson from his videos. I read Dress of the Emerald Sea and enjoyed it. So I was very excited about it. And I started making videos about me reading it. You can find them on the channel. And I am going to make a few more. Like I want to make the review of Rhythm of War and of Wind and Truth. But that would take me some time. I just want to think a bit more how to organize them because I have a lot of thoughts, especially after Wind and Truth. But I wanted to make this quick video just to summarize my conflicted emotions regarding the Stormlight because yeah, it would take me a month or so to make the other videos. So just like a midpoint check-in, so to say. And this video will have spoilers. I don't think there will be some major plot point spoilers, but still minor spoilers could appear. So why I'm conflicted about the Stormlight? I think maybe I expected more on the back of my mind because, you know, Brandon's name is quite famous in the fantasy world. You know, I've seen his lectures. When you look at somebody that way, you see him as a teacher, as a professional, as an expert in a way. So you expect whatever his work is to be high quality level, you know. I mean, Tress is a good book. I like it very much. I think the beginning of the Stormlight archive was good. I might actually enjoy Mistborn more, so I'm planning to read Mistborn. But I feel like the story just got lost. The story was lost. Like, it started to go downhill, and just in the Wind and Truth, it was just too messy in a way. But I still love the characters and I love the world and I love the idea of everything. So maybe the next 5 books will actually have a good conclusion to that story. I still want to read the rest of it. I still think that Brandon is a talented writer and his ideas are interesting. And because I feel like he's a nice guy trying his best, it's kind of hard to criticize him. I don't want to criticize him. This is not a criticism to him. It's more about maybe how I perceive it. Right now, I was just thinking that I'm perhaps a bigger fan of the characters and the world and the idea rather than the story itself. I'm not really sure where his story is going from now on. Like, I guess there is a lot of connections to the bigger cosmere and stuff like that. I guess the more I read, the more I'll understand some reference and so on and so on. But I think in the Wind and Truth, almost nothing happened. A lot of things happened, but like Dalinar's arc is kind of completed, and I think I wasn't really satisfied with Dalinar's arc, and maybe that's what bugs me. I still really like Kaladin. I really like this character. I don't know why. I just like him. I feel like Brandon really created such a strong character, even as a concept. I don't know, he's just one of my favorite characters. I really would love to read more about him. Even though his journey was like, he was just leveling up each book, and some books he was a bit kind of waiting for his turn to level up. I think that is one of my issues with this book. The story felt like certain characters had to wait for their turn. There are certain moments, like especially with Shallan, it was like repetitive, because she was waiting for the right moment for something for her to happen. So I feel like this story had a lot of potential and a lot of ideas and a lot of cool stuff, but I think I'm mostly again, fan of the characters and the world and the magic system and the ideas rather than the plot itself. You know, for example, I wasn't really interested in Shallan's storyline. Like at the beginning, it was okay. She was interesting enough, but then all her story kind of felt like it wasn't really connected enough with the main events. Like, she always going on some side quest on her own. She's always having secrets and hiding from other characters. It took her a long time before she started to collaborate with others. I mentioned in other video of mine, I kind of wish the characters interacted more or had more meaningful, intimate, interesting interactions. And I hope they collaborated more. There were some moments that they collaborated. There were some moments that they had cool interactions. They were just not enough. Rhythm of War, I enjoyed quite a lot because I think it was more focused on Navani and Kaladin. I actually really liked the Kaladin storyline in Rhythm of War. I liked spending time with Navani. Adolin Shallan storyline was okay. Not my favorite, but it was okay. It had some good moments. But then Wind and Truth, it had some cool stuff. But all those visions, there was a point I was just so frustrated that there was another vision of the past. And I was like, can you just remove those story beats in an appendixes or something? Like, what is it? Like, so much info dumping. Like, people say this book was not edited well. I don't know if it's a question of editing, but I feel like this work was kind of like, I felt like I'm reading a draft and not the finished novel. That was my feeling most of the time. I felt like some of the dialogue is a placeholder for future dialogue, which that's gonna be refined. The information was too much, like the pacing was terrible. And I was like, this book could have been great if just give it one more year. You know, I feel a bit frustrated about this book. But I will do like detailed spoiler talk about Wind and Truth because there are things about it that I really enjoyed and I want to talk about it. Also really like Zed. I still like this character. I like him for book 1 and I still really like him. I love Kaladin. I like Adolin. Like in the beginning, Adolin was like, I didn't care about him so much, but each book I liked him more and more and more. So he was one of the characters who I liked more with each book. I like Navani. I really like Navani, but I'm just really I'm not sold on Dalinar's storyline. I'm not satisfied with his ending. I'm not satisfied with the ending in general. It was alright, but it wasn't wow. You know, it didn't move me. The emotion wasn't there. My cat is just having his bath here. Like, can you not do this? Okay, stay, be decent, please. He doesn't want to be decent. So yeah, that is like quick check-in, so to say, on my Stormlight progress. Basically, I have finished it, and I'm just waiting for a moment to film all my thoughts about it. So I'm thinking to make Rhythm of War spoiler talk and Wind and Truth spoiler talk and one general video about the Stormlight, like what my general thoughts about it, like what I like, what I don't like. I want to also make a video about who the Stormlight is good for, because I think it's very important to know what you're getting into, because if I think the Stormlight is still a very good book to the right people, but yeah, maybe I expected too much. I don't know. The first books were good, really. And I think book 5 could have been great as well if he had given it more time, and maybe if Dalinar's storyline was, I don't know. Did you like Dalinar's storyline? Did you like the way it ended? I will make a special video to explain to you why I wasn't satisfied with it. But I really love the characters, and I'm so conflicted about Shallan. I like Shallan, but I am so not interested in her storyline. Do you understand this kind of paradox? Like, you like this character, they have interesting backstory, you sympathize with them, you want to read about them, but then their storyline, it's kind of like, it feels like a completely different novel, you know? It just takes Shallan out of the book, write a different book about it, maybe I'll like it more. Yeah, there were some connections to the main storyline, but maybe not enough. So I really hope there is something more interesting for Shallan to do in the second arc, because yeah, fingers crossed the next 5 books will be not rushed. I hope Brandon gives himself time, because these are big books and he has a lot of ideas and he had great ideas, but I hope he gives himself more time. I know it's hard. I know he has millions of ideas popping up every day, but give yourself more time, please. And I hope Kaladin doesn't have to suffer too much. I wonder if we see more of Zed or he is just going to live happily ever after. Who is ever living happily ever after in these stories? I don't know. What is your experience with the Stormlight? For me, again, great start, and then the midpoint was a bit rough. Then Rhythm of War was good, and then you know why Rhythm of War I think was good for me? Because in Oathbringer, I adjusted my expectations. Like in Oathbringer, I was disappointed in a few things, which kind of made me realize what Brandon is good at and what not. So in Rhythm of War, I had more specific expectations, and that helped me enjoy the story more because I knew that some things will not work out in a certain way. Maybe sounds paradoxical in a way, but I anticipated what will happen in Rhythm of War more based on what I have read so far, which made me like it more because I was not unpleasantly surprised, or I wasn't just disappointed. I didn't expect something that wasn't delivered. I knew what Brandon could deliver, you know? Oathbringer taught me what Brandon can deliver and what interests him as a writer. My expectations were correct for Rhythm of War. I enjoyed it. But Wind and Truth, no. Some parts were great, other parts just needed more work. I'm shutting up, and I'll be back with Stormlight videos maybe in a month or two, or maybe they're already out. You can check my Stormlight playlist. I hope you're going to have a great day. Hehe. My cat is always happy. Look at him, sleeping all day. Bye bye, see you next time.